Wait, you guys, I'm armpit length. I had no idea. Oh, oh. Hey loves, my name is Latoya Ebony. Welcome back to my channel. If you are into type 4 natural hair, this is the place to be. Subscribe, like, and today we're going to be talking about the 7 things that you can do to maximize your hair growth this year. Let's go. Y'all ready? All right, so this is me. August 2019, I've got my blowout, I've got my red lip, I'm loving life. But this was also during the time where I started to discover, well, not discover, but take number 1 serious. And number 1 is scalp care. Scalp care is so essential. It is so important. And I think a lot of us, we kind of focus on length retention and how to retain length and how do you moisturize your hair and And it's like, well, what's going on with your scalp? One of the amazing things about our body is that if there's something going on wrong internally, we're gonna notice it in our hair and our skin and our nails. And that is because that our bodies are going to repair what's wrong inside before it starts doing all this extra stuff like having strong nails and beautiful skin and you know, the inches, darling, the inches. If you're not getting inches, if your hair is falling out, you need to reevaluate, like, what are you putting in your body? Are you drinking enough water? Are you eating? Are you eating well? Are you eating at all? Are you sleeping? Are you stressed? These are the things that we have to pay attention to, because if your hair is not growing, that may be your body telling you like, yo, something is wrong. Now for me, right, this was also around the time where I discovered a product called Nizoral, which helps my seborrheic dermatitis, right? I have like this flaky, oily, nasty scalp that happens every once in a while when I am, you know, too stressed, not sleeping, not eating well, aka eating way too much darn sweets. Y'all, it's a mess, you know, and then I know, oh, it's time to clean up my diet. And so I use that product. I use Head and Shoulders Royal Oils, which has a different active ingredient that also helps my hair. Nizoral to me works faster, but Head and Shoulders, it keeps your hair a little bit more moisturized feeling. So I balance the two. And so I want to say that scalp care is so essential, you guys. Care for your scalp. You trust me, your hair is not going to grow without a nice scalp. Some good nutrients going on. I mean, how your hair going to grow if you ain't got that? Number 2, introduce more water to your routine. Now, I ain't talking about a little dinky-dink spray bottle. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about that. We are talking about literally saturating your hair with water. Okay, you guys know bread, right? You probably eat bread, or you know somebody that does, right? You know what bread is, right? Have you ever noticed, I know you know this, this is not, listen, if the bread is dry, it's gonna break, right? If there's no moisture to the bread, when you go to manipulate it, aka bend it, all that stuff, it's gonna break. Our hair is the same way. Exactly the same way, right? If it's brittle, if it's dry, if it's not moisturized, you go to touch it, you go to style it, it's breaking. You need to introduce more water to your routine. So the change that I made, instead of washing my hair every other week, I started washing my hair every week, every single week. And I simplified my routine, which is, I believe, something that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. But I also started to introduce wash and goes. No! I remember when I first started doing wash and goes in March of last year. I'm gonna do it again. I literally just smacked myself in the face, Lord. I'm gonna use one of these now, okay? Here we go.
That was like the Olympics.
There was a lot of trepidation within myself and also within, you, the viewer. Y'all was like, it's way too much manipulation for your hair, X, Y, and Z, da, 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 da. And those are my fears as well, right? But here's the thing. If you've kind of mastered your detangling technique and you're constantly, wetting your hair daily, it doesn't break like I thought it would. Now, it may not be for everybody, and I do have low porosity hair, meaning that the strand of my hair, the cuticle, is a little bit smoother. So I'm not saying that wash and goes are necessarily going to work for you, but that's why I'm going to back it up to my first statement, and it was washing my hair every week. The frequency is up to you, really, but if you are noticing that you need a little bit more moisture, you might have to start saturating your hair with water on a more consistent basis to see if you can maintain those hydration levels a little bit easier. So for me, it was washing at least once a week, and every once in a while I incorporate wash and go so I can get that total moisture that we all love on a more consistent basis. Number 3, accept your shrinkage. Accept your hair in its natural state. And I know the first rebuttal is always, well, my hair gets too tangled. I'm not saying you gotta live your whole life like that. I think people can sometimes get that misconstrued. I'm not saying you should never do stretch styles. I'm not saying that you shouldn't wear weaves or wigs or flat iron your hair or blow dry it or whatever it is. I'm not saying that wearing your hair in a stretched state is bad. What I'm saying is accept it when it's not. Accept it when it's not. And here's an example of shrinkage saving my hair and my inches, right? My hair is shrinking right now, right? It's not flat ironed. I am okay with the fact that it is stretched, but it is not fully stretched. And because my hair is decently long, but because of shrinkage, right? My hair doesn't really rub my shoulders, right? And when I wear it in its unstretched state, like I have, all of these hairstyles that I do when I just do like a very simple wash and go with not a ton of gel or anything because I want to live my life. It really, like if you do it the right way and you know how to detangle your hair and like, hey, if I keep my hair wet and moisturized and things like that, you might be surprised that there's not that much breakage. If you do this every once in a while, I think that it gives your hair a chance to really, experience the moisture, the water, but also you start to accept your hair more in its natural state, which then leads to less manipulation, right? I'm okay with the fact that my hair is not like super long right now. I've accepted that. And so I'm not gonna spend my days pulling it down, making sure it looks longer, making sure, and I know some of y'all gonna be like, well, your hair is long though. Your hair is long. You can say that now. It's like, no, I had to accept this like a long time ago. When you start to appreciate the fact that, hey, my hair is not grazing my shoulders and I'm okay with that, your hair, you're gonna notice more length retention, 100%. So in October 2019, February 2020, like we were seeing that my hair was flat ironed. Okay, in February, my hair was flat ironed. My mother did it. I was like, take off all the dead ends, take it off. And I was left with a very blunt cut and I absolutely loved it. I'm getting a little tongue-tied here. And then, in February, I was rocking my blowout. And overall, throughout the past 365, I have used heat on my hair 3 times. And I believe 2 of those times I actually flat ironed my hair. But the methods that I used were just banding if I wanted length, doing twist outs, putting it into a ponytail. That's what I did today. This is a twist out, a very messy twist out, but I love the mess. We gotta love the mess. And I really refrain from heat most of the year. And this is a very simple one. Everyone always talks about it, but I had to throw it in there because it's true. Less heat. And if you live in a very hot area, I think some people don't think about this. The sun is also a form of heat. Maybe not like super direct heat, but it really is. So, you know, wearing your hair in protective styles and head wraps, and, you know, just making sure that you're consistently moisturizing your hair. If you live in a very like hot, dry place, especially like I do, shout out to California, it's dry. So I have to moisturize my hair more often, but I'm aware that, hey, this is my environment. Number 5, simplify your routine. Listen, I remember when I first went natural, I was doing everything. It was like the hot oil treatments, the steamer, the pre-poo, the trimming every 6 weeks. I was doing the absolute most because this is what the information told me. This is what was out. It was like, as soon as you wash your hair, you gotta do a blast of cold water, and then you gotta do, I mean, it was like, it was a lot. It was a lot in the beginning, and I think that especially if you're starting out, it can be overwhelming. So what I'm gonna say is just simplify your routine, okay? Once I learned my hair porosity, I have a whole video if you guys wanna learn how to find out your hair porosity in a very easy way. I can link that video, but I was like, oh, I'm low porosity, and that means that my strand cuticles are already kind of down. Like I might not need to do this cold blast of water. I actually should be doing things that open the cuticle, like adding heat instead. So really figuring out what it is that your hair needs and simplifying it down. I don't pre-poo every single time that I wash, because I've realized that I don't need it. My hair just does not need to be pre-pooed every single time. I do it once a month, a pre-poo, maybe once a month, a hot oil treatment. But on my regular wash days, and also because I'm constantly introducing water to my hair and I'm constantly like finger detangling, and we're gonna talk about that next. But I don't have some of the same struggles that I used to have because I'm very consistent with a very simplified routine that, I mean, it takes me about an hour on my wash day. Oh, let me say an hour and a half, because washing and detangling and things like that, but it takes me an hour and a half. Like, that's it. I really just cut out all the things that I didn't need. So figure out what it is your hair absolutely needs, do that, and then maybe once a month go in with like all the stuff, you know? So that's just a really great way to cut down your hair routine. Just experiment. And if you happen to need everything, you happen to need everything. But if you don't, I have a sneaking suspicion that a lot of you guys are doing a lot of extra things to your hair, like I did, that you might not need as often. So in May 2020, my hubby did a little length check.
I do know what flat iron looks like.
Okay, 11 and a half, you guys. You're supposed to show the camera, you gotta show the camera.
Bang, bang.
Because people be like, I saw it. So
see, the thing is that I'm a designer, so I want to make sure I get this stuff right. This is 10 and a half. Hold on. Yeah, this is 10 and a half, no, almost to 11.
Yeah, so my hair grows very unevenly.
Yeah.
Like this side of my hair is actually denser and longer
right
than this side.
You guys can see it.
Is that at my bra?
No, bra's right here.
Almost. Well, it's still mid-back.
So let's be scientific. There's approximately 3 inches to your back. To your bra.
To my bra.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 3 inches from my bra. And we're just gonna focus on the back right and the back left, because on the right side of my hair, I had 11 and a half inches in May, and then on the back left side, I had 10 and a half inches. It was like an inch of difference. But I don't love doing length checks, but it really does let me know in actual factual numbers if I'm headed in the right direction. And so we're gonna share a little bit later about December and what I found out, but that length check was so needed because now I have a little bit of a marker. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of a marker. But anyway, that is when it solidified number 6 for me, and that's finger detangling. I've been finger detangling for years now, a few years, and I did it because there were so many type 4 naturals that were saying, oh, I could never finger detangle my hair, and being the person that I am, I like to push the envelope, and so I did. I pushed the envelope, and I started finger detangling. And when I had this length check in May, that was when I was like, oh, it's working. It's absolutely working. About once a month, I'll go in with an actual detangling brush. I have one by Felicia Leatherwood that I use that I don't know where it's at, but this is another version of a finger detangler. That's really nice if you just want like that thorough, and it's also faster too. So no shade if you don't want a finger detangle. Just find a detangling technique that really works for you. One that's gonna allow you to be patient enough and not rip out your hair. And number 7, your nighttime care routine. Get it down, lock down, pat down. I don't even know. I don't know what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is that your nighttime care routine is just as important as what you do during the day. If you don't take care of your hairline, if your bonnet is pulling too tight, if your pillowcase is a cotton pillowcase and it's sucking moisture out of your hair, listen, you guys, silk and satin, hair ties, bonnets, pillowcases, I had to invest in all of that stuff. And I also had to invest a little bit more time in making sure that my hair wasn't crispy at the end of the night, meaning that if I needed to moisturize my hair an extra time during the week, because you know, sometimes the environment just dries out your hair. I think we need to keep that in mind, that different times during the year, the environment could be more drying than normal. So pay attention to your environment and get that nighttime hair care routine down. All right, so if you see that in December, I ended up doing a little length check because I just had to know. Here we go. This is totally an insert, and yes, I was playing in lipstick, but I just realized like I cannot continue this video without at least giving you guys some indication on where I'm at. I know my hair is not bone straight and kicking myself because I should have, when I flat ironed and trimmed my hair, I should have at least measured my length since I have this goal, but we're just gonna do something super quick. My hair is not straight, so it might not be that accurate, but that's okay. I just need to know where we're at right now. Oh, child, she hitting 13 inches there. She's hitting 13 inches on that side. And let me just check this other side. This is my weak side. And I know that my hair is not even, so there's that. Oh, okay, she's like 13 and a half on this side. This is my weak side. I think so. Okay, but she's growing though. She is growing. I am so happy. Okay, let's get back to the video. This is my hair. Uneven as it is, but at least we got some of this off. We got some of them ends off, you know? We did our best today. So based on that length check from these back sections, I have gained 2 inches, you guys, which is really good, I would say, because I did just trim my hair. So we have May, okay, we have June, July, August, September, October, November, December. That is 1, 2, 3.5 inches of possibility. I did cut off about 1 inch. So that leaves about 1 month if your hair grows about 1/2 inch a month, right? That leaves about 1 month of not as good. So I would say 2 inches is pretty darn good if you ask me. 1/2 inch a month, that's 4 months out of the 7 months of retained lengths. Yeah, I think that's pretty darn good. So because I am long-winded, let's recap these 7 tips that you can do, the 7 things that you can do to maximize your hair growth. We've got number 1, scalp care. Number 2, introduce more water to your routine. Number 3, accept your shrinkage, your hair in its natural state. Number 4, less heat. Number 5, simplify your hair routine for your hair type, porosity, density, all of that. Number 6, figure out a detangling routine that works for you. And number 7, care for your hair at night as well as during the day.
I'd like to give a special shout out to all the Patreons and the Coily crew and new members, Jordana G and Abby I. Thank you all for your support. And to anyone who'd like to know more information on how they can support this channel, check out the link below or go to patreon.com/Latoya Ebony.
And that is it. If you are interested in videos like this, I've got a video on my nighttime hair routines, a bunch of different ones, so you can check it out. And another one when I flat ironed and trimmed my hair if you can't get to your salon right now. I love y'all. Subscribe, thumbs up, comment down below. Let me know. Share your tips with us, and I will see you in a couple days. Mwah.